The internet is going wild right now after a bombshell leak that has Charleston White's name all over it and 50 Cent. He's not holding back. A brand new video just surfaced allegedly showing Charleston White snitching during a private conversation that somehow made its way online. The footage spread like wildfire. And within hours, hip-hop fans, YouTubers, and even industry insiders were calling it the end of Charleston's tough guy image. But what really set the internet on fire was 50 Cent's response. 50, he doesn't miss a single opportunity to clap back when someone gets exposed. And this time, he went off. He dropped cryptic posts, savage memes, and a fiery IG story that had everyone talking. Some fans said it was hilarious. Others said it was pure destruction. But everyone agreed. Charleston White just got torched by one of the most ruthless men in hip-hop. This isn't just another celebrity beef. It's about street credibility, reputation, and exposure. Charleston built his brand on being outspoken, fearless, and calling people out for being fake. But now, the internet's calling him the biggest fake of them all. So how did this leak even happen? Why did 50 Cent jump in so fast? And what does this mean for Charleston White's future in the industry? Let's break it all down because this drama goes deeper than anyone expected. The internet couldn't believe what it was seeing. Late last night, a clip started circulating on social media that showed Charleston White in a private setting sitting back, relaxed, talking way too freely about things that should have never left the room. In the footage, you can hear Charleston casually mentioning names, legal situations, and supposed deals that fans immediately called out as snitch behavior. Within minutes, the video spread across X, YouTube, and Instagram. The comments section blew up with disbelief. People were tagging 50 Cent, E, and even T.I. asking for their reactions. Everyone knew Charleston had a history of running his mouth, but this was different. This wasn't just another viral rant or a YouTube clip meant for clout. This was real, raw, and potentially career-ending. Charleston White has built his entire image on being outspoken. He calls himself a truth teller, someone who doesn't care what people think. He's clashed with rappers, gang members, bloggers, and even fans, and he's never backed down. But this time, the clip painted him in a completely different light. Instead of being the bold, fearless commentator people knew him as, he sounded like someone trying to save himself by giving up information. That's when 50 Cent entered the chat. If there's one thing 50 Cent doesn't tolerate, it's hypocrisy, especially in the rap game. Within hours of the leak, 50 posted a meme of Charleston White wearing a police hat with the caption, "Somebody called a witness protection program. We got another one." The post exploded instantly. Millions of likes, thousands of comments, and people tagging Charleston saying, "Bro, 50 just ended your career." But 50 wasn't done. In a second post, he uploaded an old clip from Get Rich or Die Trying, where his character says, "You talk too much," and fans instantly knew what he was doing. It wasn't just trolling, it was a statement. Behind the scenes, insiders started hinting that 50 Cent had been waiting for something like this. Apparently, Charleston had taken shots at 50 multiple times over the past year, calling him Hollywood fake, corporate gangster, and even saying he was too rich to be real anymore. 50 never responded to any of that. Until now. So, when the footage leaked, it was like throwing gasoline on a fire that had been quietly burning for months. Charleston, on the other hand, tried to play it cool. He jumped on Instagram Live that same night, acting unbothered. "Man, that video is old," he said, pacing back and forth. "Y'all keep trying to tear a real one down. I ain't never snitched on nobody. I told the truth." But the internet wasn't buying it. Fans replayed the leaked clip over and over, pointing out that the conversation sounded too recent. You could even hear references to events that happened this year. Comment sections were brutal. "You can't talk all that gangster talk and then fold like this? Bro went from real to rat in one clip." 50 Cent warned y'all, he can smell fake from a mile away. Meanwhile, the hip-hop media world went into overdrive. DJ Academics posted the video with a fire emoji caption. VLAD TV uploaded a reaction clip titled, "Did Charleston White just snitch on himself?" Even the Shade Room got in on it, calling the situation wild and messy. As more people watched the video, theories started flying. Some believe the clip was leaked by someone close to Charleston, maybe an old associate trying to get revenge. Others thought it was part of a bigger setup, maybe even planted by another content creator who wanted to expose him. But regardless of how it happened, one thing was clear: the damage was done then. Out of nowhere, 50 Cent dropped a longer post that hit even harder. He wrote, "Everybody wanna talk tough until them cameras ain't rolling. That's why I stay quiet and watch. Real, recognize real, and the rest get exposed eventually." That line went viral instantly. Rappers, influencers, and even athletes reposted it. It was classic 50's, smart, sharp, and perfectly timed. Fans started calling it the digital knockout. By morning, Charleston's name was trending worldwide. His team tried to contain the damage, but once the internet labels you a snitch, there's no turning back. His comment sections were flooded with rat emojis, memes, and old clips resurfacing from his interviews, especially ones where he mocked other rappers for being soft or scared. Ironically, those same words came back to haunt him. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was reportedly gearing up to turn the situation into content for his own projects. Sources close to him said he might use it as material for an upcoming Power spinoff or social media promo. Because if there's one thing 50 knows how to do, it's turn drama into business. But what really made this situation explosive was the underlying message. 50 wasn't just calling Charleston out. He was calling out the whole fake tough guy culture that had taken over social media. For years, Charleston had made his name clowning rappers and gang members, calling them cowards, mocking their losses, and making fun of street life. But now the tables have turned. This was poetic justice in real time. The clip continued circulating, and Charleston's attempts to defend himself only made things worse. He claimed the video was edited and taken out of context. But then a second version dropped longer, uncut, and even clearer. That sealed it. Fans said it was over at that point. The story wasn't about proving whether Charleston was a snitch or not. It was about public perception. Once the internet decides you're done, there's almost no comeback. By the end of the day, 50 Cent posted one last time, a simple image of a rat emoji with the caption, "Rest in peace to your street cred." That post alone did more damage than any interview could. It was the 50's way of saying the war was over and he won. Charleston tried to clap back again, saying, "Man, 50 just mad 'cause I speak the truth. He doesn't scare me." But at that point, it didn't matter. The internet had already picked its side. And when 50 Cent's on one side, you know exactly how that story ends. This was no longer just beef. It was a public execution, one meme at a time. As the sun came up the next morning, Charleston White woke up to a nightmare. Every social media platform was flooded with memes, videos, and remixes of the leaked footage. The clip was everywhere. TikTok edits, reaction channels, and even news outlets were covering it. You couldn't scroll for 2 seconds without seeing Charleston's face next to a rat emoji. His image, the loud, fearless, unfiltered truth teller, had officially turned into a punchline. But instead of laying low, here's where it got even deeper. Industry insiders started leaking information suggesting this wasn't the first time Charleston had been caught talking too much. Apparently, there were other recordings, conversations between Charleston and certain law enforcement contacts, and some of them weren't meant to be public. Whispers started spreading fast. Some said Charleston had been quietly feeding info about other influencers to keep himself out of trouble. Others claimed he was setting people up for content. It was getting uglier by the hour. By day 2, Charleston's sponsors started backing away. A few podcast networks removed his episodes, and one of his recent speaking events got postponed indefinitely. His YouTube monetization reportedly got flagged for controversial content. It was a domino effect, one that 50 Cent had indirectly triggered without lifting a finger. But if you know Charleston White, you know he doesn't fold quietly. He went live again that evening, this time with a calmer tone. "Let me explain something," he said. "I ain't no snitch. I work with law enforcement to help kids stay out of trouble. Y'all confusing a real man doing community work with street code nonsense? That might have worked if the video hadn't already gone viral 1,000 times over." People clipped that statement and spun it into another meme. "He said community work, but we heard confidential work," one user joked. The internet's verdict was final back in New York. Sources close to 50 Cent claimed he was loving every minute of it. 50 had a reputation for being ruthless online, but this situation was different. He didn't have to say much. The world was doing the work for him. Even celebrities started jumping in. Boosie Badass commented under one of the viral posts, "Ain't no coming back from that. Doug." Fat Joe reposted a 50s meme with the caption, "Cold-blooded." And when Charlemagne Thaw got disgusted on The Breakfast Club, he said, "You can't build your brand on being real and then get caught being fake. That's career suicide." It wasn't just the fans turning on Charleston, the industry itself was quietly distancing. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. A few days later, Charleston released a short video claiming he was being set up. He said that clip y'all saw was edited. "They spliced my words. Y'all don't even know who is behind this. It's a whole plot to silence me." Fans were skeptical, but the conspiracy took off. Some of his loyal supporters started posting theories, suggesting that maybe 50 Cent and others had paid to get that clip leaked just to humiliate Charleston. They argued that Charleston was too controversial, too unpredictable, and that certain people wanted him gone. For a brief moment, the narrative shifted. But then another blow landed. A new audio clip leaked, this time even clearer than the first. You could hear Charleston talking to a man identified as a detective, referencing specific names and cases. It wasn't even subtle. He was giving out details that sounded way too personal to be taken out of context. And that's when everything crashed for good. Within hours, hashtag Charleston White Exposed was trending again. And this time, even his own fans couldn't defend him. People started unfollowing in waves. His subscriber count dropped. The setup theory died out almost instantly. Meanwhile, 50 Cent, in typical 50 fashion, responded not with words but with a video edit. He posted a short reel showing a rat running across a street, overlaid with Charleston's past. Quotes like, "I'm the realest one talkin', and ain't nobody more street than me." The internet lost it. The clip hit over 10 million views in 24 hours. It wasn't just a diss, it was digital humiliation on a cinematic level. By this point, Charleston had gone completely quiet online. No lives, no interviews, nothing. The man who once dominated headlines with his loud mouth had suddenly vanished from the spotlight. His last post was a short message saying, "Sometimes silence speaks louder than noise." But even that got ratioed with comments like, "Too late, Snitch," and that silence came a few clips too late. Behind the scenes, insiders say Charleston's team was trying to negotiate interviews to do damage control. But no major platform wanted to touch it. Too toxic, too controversial, too late, and 50. He had already moved on. He posted a selfie with the caption, "On to the next one." No explanation, no mention, just pure confidence. It was the final nail in the coffin. Because that's what makes 50 Cent dangerous. He doesn't need to drag it out. Once he wins, he walks away and lets the internet finish the job. Charleston White learned that the hard way. One clip, one leak, one viral moment, and years of online bravado came crashing down. The same internet that built his fame. Buried him overnight, and through it all. 50 Cent didn't just destroy Charleston. White's reputation, he reminded everyone in the industry of one cold truth. In the age of clout, one mistake can end your career faster than a bullet ever could. Days turned into weeks. And Charleston White's name faded from the trending pages. For someone who once lived off controversy, silence was the ultimate punishment. His social media accounts, once buzzing with daily lives and fiery debates, now sat quiet, a digital graveyard of what used to be chaos. But while the noise died down on his end, the internet had already crowned its winner. 50 Cent didn't just come out on top. He came out legendary. In typical 50 fashion, he turned the whole drama into a business opportunity. Within a week of the leak, Juno Productions dropped a teaser for a new docuseries called Snitch Culture: The Fall of the Streets. And guess who the first episode seemed to be about? You guessed it, Charleston White. The promo didn't name him directly, but it showed clips that mirrored his situation perfectly. A loud-mouthed influencer, street talk, a leaked phone call, and a rat animation fading into the shadows. Fans flooded the comments saying 50 really turned the whole situation into a Netflix bag. That's the genius of 50 Cent. He doesn't waste a single viral moment. Every feud, every headline, every meme becomes content. And as people laughed at Charleston's downfall, 50 was laughing all the way to the bank. But Charleston wasn't completely done. A few weeks later, he popped up again on a small podcast, visibly calmer, humbler, and different. Gone was the wild energy, the shouting, the insults. Instead, he spoke softly, saying, "I learned who really controls this game. They let you talk till your words bury you." The host asked him if he had any words for 50 Cent. Charleston sighed and said, "Man, I respect 50. He did what he was supposed to do. He played me at my own game and I lost." That clip went viral again, but this time, not because of the drama. People actually started respecting honesty. For the first time, Charleston wasn't yelling or trolling, he was owning his loss. Still, the internet doesn't forgive easily. The memes, the edits, the remixes, they became part of his digital legacy. Every time his name trended again, it came with rat emojis, quotes from his live streams, and reminders of that infamous leak. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's momentum only grew stronger. His new docuseries landed a streaming deal. He dropped another season of Power. And he even hinted at signing new YouTube creators to his label. It was almost poetic. While one man's downfall dominated headlines, another man's empire just expanded. Insiders close to 50 say he barely even mentioned Charleston again. It wasn't personal, one source said. It was about principle. 50 can smell a fake from a mile away. Once he sees you break that street code, you're finished in his book. And that's the unspoken rule in hip-hop. Loyalty and authenticity aren't just words, they're currency. You can lose money and bounce back, but lose credibility. You're finished. Charleston's story became a warning, not just to rappers, but to influencers, bloggers, and YouTubers who chase clout without realizing how fast the internet can turn. A few creators even made videos titled The Charleston White Effect, breaking down how ego and exposure can destroy online careers. Some said he flew too close to the sun. Others said he simply forgot that 50 Cent built his career on ending people like him, and they weren't wrong. 50 has been in this game for over 2 decades. And every time someone tries to go at him, he finds a way to make it profitable. From Ja Rule to Rick Ross to The Game, and now Charleston White. Every feud ends the same way. 50 wins twice. First online, then at thebank.in, a live stream weeks later. One fan asked 50 Cent if he ever felt bad about what happened. He smirked and said, "I don't feel bad for nobody who started. You talk crazy. You get crazy back. Simple math. Crazy back. Simple math." The clip went viral instantly because it perfectly summed up who 50 Cent is: ruthless, calculated, entertaining, but beneath all the memes and laughter, there's a deeper message. Hip-hop used to be about authenticity, living what you rap about, standing on your word. Nowadays, a lot of people chase clout without understanding the consequences. Charleston thought he could troll his way to the top forever. But the streets and the internet always collect their debt. By the end of it all, Charleston White became an example. And 50 Cent reminded the world that the line between entertainment and real life is razor thin. One wrong move, one leak, one viral moment, and it's all gone. As one fan commented under a viral clip, 50 Cent doesn't beef. He teaches lessons. And that's exactly what this was. A lesson in power, a lesson in exposure, a lesson in how fast a man's image can crumble when receipts hit the timeline. Charleston learned it the hard way. As for 50, he stayed winning, posting motivational captions, promoting his shows, and trolling just enough to remind everyone that he's still that guy. And even though Charleston's name eventually disappeared from the headlines, one thing was clear. 50 Cent had once again proven that he's not just a rapper or a mogul. He's the final boss of hip-hop drama. Because in this culture, everyone talks tough until the receipts drop. And when the dust settles, there's always one man left standing with a smirk on his face. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. So what do you think about this whole situation? Did Charleston White finally meet the one man he couldn't troll? Or did 50 Cent just prove once again that he's untouchable when it comes to street politics and media power? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. I want to know whose side you're on in this crazy feud. Because one thing's for sure, when 50 Cent moves, the whole industry feels it. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated with all the latest hip-hop drama, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because we've got more explosive stories coming your way. We're talking deep dives, untold truths, and full breakdowns about the biggest names in the game, from rap beefs and industry secrets to power moves that change everything. And remember, in this culture, it's not about who's the loudest, it's about who lasts the longest. 50 Cent showed us once again that real power doesn't need to shout. It just moves in silence and lets the results speak. So don't miss what's next, because if you thought this story was wild, wait until you see what's coming next week. This is Hip Hop Uncovered, where we bring you the truth behind the headlines. Stay locked in, stay real, and as always, keep your eyes open because the game never sleeps.